gamers today. Audio. Let's go. Okay, so first thing is we're going to add like kind of like background music. It's super easy. Our main camera already has something called an audio listener. So all we need to do is have something play. So we're going to go ahead. Let's just do our main scene. Just do a right click, go to audio, and then audio source. And we'll call this like background music. Doesn't really matter. Okay. Then what we'll do is where it says audio resource, this is where we're going to set whatever we want, like kind of our music to play as it. So in this case here, let's go to our assets, and then there's a folder called audio, and then 2D music as the audio resource. We're going to then go ahead and set the this field here, this flag here for loop. And so the basically the game will like as it says here, play on awake. So as soon as the game starts, and I've heard this music like a million times. As soon as the game starts, okay, cool. So, for your projects and things like that, we'll definitely not want to have that. Now, you could go ahead and sort of like adjust that volume down if you'd like, which I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm only going to do one of the the sounds in the lesson uh, as far as one shots. But basically, what we're going to do is we're going to now turn to I want a sound effect to play when something happens. So we're going to go ahead to we're going to need to do some scripting. So I'm just going to go to my player character. I'm going to open up the player controller script. And we are going to go ahead and we're going to make a new some variables. Okay, so these variables will basically be a way for us. We're going to set it up so that like when the player interacts with something, the thing it's going to that the player is interacting with is going to contain the information about the clip that we want to play. But the player is going to be the one that's actually going to be kind of like implementing the playing of it. So we're going to go ahead here. Let's go to audio source. Sorry, let me also increase the size of this. We're going to say here audio source, and then the great um, and awesome, really just like well thought out variable audio source, lowercase a and then capital S. We're then going to go ahead and we're going to grab this in terms of our on start. And we're going to do the same thing we did before, like we've done so many times now. We're going to grab a component. So in this case, we're going to say audio source is going to be equal to, and then I'm actually just going to copy and paste this. Okay. And then instead of animator, it's going to be capital A, capital S, audio source. Okay. And yeah, that looks good. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to we'll just put it at the bottom. So for me, it's going to be below find friend. And I'm going to just go ahead here and we're going to call this public void play sound. And then the information it's going to take is going to be an audio clip. And then we'll just give it the variable called clip. Okay, let's do some open curly brackets, close curly brackets, and then we're going to say here audio source dot play one shot, and then we'll take that argument that it takes as far as sorry, it'll take that parameter. Okay, so we need to go ahead and we're going to need to create an audio source for our player, and then we're going to go to something that we're going to want to play a clip when the player interacts with it. Okay, so let's go ahead here and add as far as an audio source. Okay. Audio source. Okay, cool. All right. So now let's go to a health collectible. Okay. So let's do there's the kiwi. Okay. And then let's open up our health collectible script. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to set it up so that like we're going to make it so that this is going to contain the information we want to have as far as like what clip we want to play. So we're going to start off, we're going to make this a public variable so that we can just see it in the editor. And we'll call this just an audio clip. Okay. And then we'll just give it the variable name collected clip. Okay. So public, so we can see it. This is the type, and then this is the actual variable name. And then what we'll do is on trigger. Okay, so we've got all this fun stuff. We're gonna set it like if this is actually going to happen. Um, we're gonna go ahead if this if statement is true. We're gonna go ahead here and say controller dot play sound, and then collected lowercase c collected clip. Okay, and then okay. So again, looking at in terms of like what this code is doing up here, we declare a variable called collected clip. And then what we do is we make a reference to that. Oh, I should increase the size of this. We make a reference, okay, to this is now looking at the player object, okay, and then specifically the player controller script that is attached to the player object. We're then invoking the play sound method, and we're passing it this parameter. Which is going to be in this case, the argument that will actually be passed along is going to be a clip that we associate with this object, with the health collectible. So now when we go back, let's see if there's any errors. Okay, cool. So now we can go ahead and we go to our collectible health, and we're going to see that we've got a collected clip as far as like we have that public variable exposed. So same thing we did before. Let's go to audio, and then there's a built-in one here. We'll just do collectible. Okay. So now what this is going to do is if it senses that the player, is not at like if we look at the code, if the player is if it's a player that's colliding and the player has less than its maximum health, go ahead, play the collected clip. Uh, that the play the use the play sound method that's part of the player script and play the collected clip uh, that we're passing along to it. Okay, so that should be it. This is always fun when we do a test. I first got to get damaged real quick. Oh, it's too loud. Ah, God. Okay, and there we go. Okay, I definitely have to change the volume of that background music. That still is far too loud. So anyways, we'll play around with that. I wish you the best of luck. Great stuff, dudes.